Good afternoon everybody. It is the 1st of July today, height of summer 2023, and I've just come down to this conservation area that I look at after just to take a few pictures. And it's been a peculiar year, a peculiar spring in some respects. We did have some dry and relatively mild weather in February, and some farmers got some of their spring crops in, but we didn't. Couldn't get on the land in March, and it was the end of April before we could get on the land to put the spring beans and spring oats in, and they did okay. They burst away and they've grown really well. The other thing that's happened with having a relatively mild and cool May is that all the environmental areas have just grown tremendously. I mean, some of the docks and the other plants are 4, 5, 6, 7 feet tall. I've seen some cow parsley over 7 feet tall, and trying to keep the areas around my elm trees clear has been quite a battle. This is a machine I use. It's a ride-on mower, 3 rotors up the front. It's got a 4-cylinder diesel engine and it's really powerful, but my goodness me, it makes it cough sometimes. So I'm just going to show you a few elm trees, and you see I can try my best to keep the area around the base of the tree free, or relatively free, of grass, because they all suck the moisture and the nutrients out and compete with the trees. This one here I'm showing you is a Wingham, one much beloved by the late David Hurling, and it's growing really well. I'm pleased with that. And then if you come round here, there's several others. This one on the right that you can see is a seed from Sephora Autumn Gold. The one straight in front there is a Lavis, and then there's lots of different elm trees behind. There's one particular thing I want to show you down here, which I've never encountered before, and I'm sure you'll find this interesting. This one here, that one's growing well, isn't it? And that one is a Lutex. Really pleased with that. One of my favourite resistant elm trees. If we carry on down here, the next one is a Lavis. They grow well. And the one just beyond it, this next one I'm coming to, is an Aid Moose. And that's growing well. The leaves are getting bigger now. When it was a juvenile, they seemed quite small. This one in front again is another Lavis, and you can see some more elm trees in the distance. But the one I want to show you is this one here. It's growing well. You can see a silhouette against this blue sky there, but the tube I've had to tie on with several bits of bale bind. You can see them here, I think, how I've tied this on. And the reason for that is I came down here about 6 weeks ago, and this tube had been pushed all the way up here, which was incredible. I'd never seen that before, and all this lower part was exposed and it had most of its bark stripped off, and the only thing that could have done that would have been a deer. It got its nose underneath the bottom of the tube, pushed it up, and fortunately the piece of bark or the piece of stem next to the wooden stake, it couldn't strip off. And it has recovered and it's growing well, and I think it will survive. And as much as I love to see deer in the countryside, and we have a lot on the farm, you see the prints all over in the spring, they do try my patience sometimes, and I really don't like them damaging my elm trees. I'll leave you this one here. This is a Lavis, and I'll wish you a good day, and I'm sure I'll see you another time. All the best. Bye bye.